Oh, hey everybody, how you doing? It's so nice of you to visit my humble room on Laundry Day! And because this is a special kind of day that only comes around like once a week, we gotta do something special. That's right. I know, right? I know, right? I mean, Naruto video. Weird. Okay, just bear with me on this. I know, Barry. I know you're confused right now, Barry. Okay, listen. Every now and then, I'll be rewatching an anime, and there'll be a moment that'll like really stick with me, and I'll have this urge to make a video about it, like, man, that was a good scene in that anime, I should make a video about this. And then a couple more days go by and eventually the desire kind of fades, and I'm like, I don't know why, that's not even what I normally talk about. No, but this time I'm like, no, Matt, no, you're doing this, okay? So a couple of days ago, it popped into my head for some reason, I don't know, I'm like, man, that fight that Conan had against Toby, or Obito or Madara, whatever you want to call the dude, he went through like 3 different voice actors throughout the course of the story. You know, he could change it. That was Obito's ultimate ability. He could change his voice. He could go from like, hi everybody, I'm the goofy guy, I'm adorable, I'm Toby, how you doing? Oh, I fell over on myself, that's so funny. And then he goes, I am Madara Uchiha. I have been resurrected to bring about the infinite Tsukuyomi. And then he reveals himself as Obito, and he just kind of levels it out to his voice actor from when he was a kid. Weird how that worked, right? But anyway, I remember that fight, so I go home and I watch it, and I'm like, man, that fight was awesome, okay? So we're talking about Conan today. And also, this kind of satiates something for me. It kind of scratches a few itches that I've had about Conan's character, okay? Because, you know, you look at the Akatsuki, and remember when the Akatsuki were like the big bads of Naruto? Like, okay, part 1 of Naruto ends, and, you know, you got to see how terrifying was, you know, Itachi during part 1, and Kasame was there. Zetsu shows up at the very end of part 1, and then, you know, they all gather together right before part 1 ends, and it's like, you know, we will obtain everything, including the 9-tailed fox, and you see Pain there in silhouette, and they're all like, oh man, this is gonna be cool. And then Shippuden starts up, part 2, and it's like, for the big chunk of like the first half of Shippuden, it's all about the Akatsuki, right? It's like, we want to see these Akatsuki guys, and, you know, this is just a personal thing for me. You know, if you enjoyed Naruto all the way through, good on you. That's great. But my personal experience with this story is right at the end of Pain's invasion on Konoha, after he obliterates Konoha, and then, you know, Naruto talks Nagato down and all that. After that arc finishes, the passion of Naruto began to wane from that point onward. Because I remember reading those chapters when I was like in high school and being like just as pumped for a Naruto chapter the next week as I was for the Bleach chapter or the One Piece chapter. I'd be like, oh man, Naruto just went 6 tails against Pain, oh man, this is gonna be awesome! Can't wait till next week! You know, I never really, there were a few other moments after that, because I read Naruto all the way through the end, so there were other moments, like during the 5 Kage Summit, when Sasuke fought against the Raikage, or when Might Guy fought against, Madara and Kisame, pretty much anything involving Might Guy. There were moments from week to week where I'm like, oh man, I'm really pumped for next week, what's gonna happen? But, you know, that was the height for me, for Naruto, and that also kind of represented right there, after Pain was defeated, that kind of represented the shift in Naruto, where it's like, the Akatsuki are still around, like Kasame was still alive, you know, Toby, Madara, Obito, they're still alive, of course, Conan was still alive, but it kind of just, you know, okay, we're shifting from the Akatsuki, it's not just about the Akatsuki now, this like single, you know, organization, no, now it's about, you know, reviving the 10 tails, bringing about the infinite Tsukuyomi, resurrecting all the zombies, you know, that's what it's all about now, gathering all the tail beasts together, all the Biju and the Jinchuriki, all that stuff, right? So, you know, it just, I don't know, I like the Akatsuki being the villains, okay? And then moving it on to the Great Shinobi World War, the 4th one, I'm like, okay, this is alright, but I just preferred the Akatsuki arcs more. And all the Akatsuki members seem to get these really big, bombastic fights, like Kakazu got a serious fight, Hidan got an awesome, amazing fight with Shikamaru. That's like, if I'm ever gonna make another Naruto video after this, it's gonna be Shikamaru versus Hidan, because that fight, holy crap, so much to unpack with that, and Shikamaru is such a great character, right? But, you know, Sasori got a cool fight. You got oh my god, Deidara's fight, remember? See, this is the stuff I'm talking about here. It's just like Deidara fighting against Sasuke, or that giant mountain you know, true artisan explosion, rip, bam! God, I miss that, right? Okay, so, you know, all these really cool-ass fights. Of course, you get Pain, who is both Yahiko, resurrected as a corpse for Nagato, who's actually the mastermind behind all this. The whole, Battle of Konoha really deals with him because he was like the head of the Akatsuki, or that we knew of at the time, okay? And so then Naruto shows up, and he's got the Sage Mode, he's got the cloak, and Gamma Bunta and all the other Gamma Hero and everybody there, Gamma whatever's there, and they're fighting. It's great, okay? It's amazing, all right? So all the Akatsuki got these really awesome bombastic fights, for the most part. Kisame versus Maikai, amazing fight. And then I'm like, okay, what about KONAN, though? Because KONAN, she is the only female member amongst the Akatsuki. So I'm like, all right, so at the end of the fight, though, KONAN doesn't really fight against Naruto. She doesn't fight against him at all. I think she tries to stop him a little bit when Naruto gets close to Nagato's little hideout inside of the tree. She's like, you can't fight Nagato, I have to hold him off. And, Naruto comes in, he does the talk no jutsu to Nagato, and he decides, you know what, Naruto? I was going to annihilate your entire village, but tell you what, because of your impeccable public speech and motivational skills, I am going to activate the hidden secret jutsu that I was saving for this one particular plan that took us literally decades to formulate. I'm going to use that Rene revival jutsu right now to revive everybody that died, including your sensei, in this battle, which I myself initiated, which will also end my life in the process. Damn, you are a good... You should do this for a living, Naruto. You should be a motivational speaker. Oh well, later, KONAN. Nagato, checking out. Revives everybody and then he dies, okay? And then KONAN's just there like, okay, I guess I'm the only one alive now. So she wraps up Yahiko's corpse and Nagato's corpse in paper, gives Naruto a bouquet of paper origami flowers. Like, this is... for whatever, I guess. Here you go. I'm gonna go back to, Hidden Village of the Rain. You have fun, rebuilding your village. Sorry about that. Later. And so she just leaves, and it's just like, okay, I assumed at that point, KONAN, there was really no reason for her to continue fighting anybody, because her two, the people that she cared about the most were both dead now, plus Jiraiya's dead at this point. I know about Boruto. I know. We're not talking about Boruto today. Okay, I get it, alright? Well, anyway, so I thought, alright, okay, KONAN's not gonna get a big epic fight, but that's okay, too. I mean, maybe I figured at that point in the story, she was just gonna go back to the village hidden in the rain, and just rule over it as Lady Angel for the remainder of the story. Oh, how naive I was there. Now, she did get a cool fight, but oh, how wrong I was there. So I was like, it was almost like, okay, I was expecting the fight with KONAN, and then it doesn't happen, and then we go through a couple of other chapters, like we go through the whole 5 Kage Summit arc and everything like that, and it's like, we don't hear anything from KONAN. I'm like, alright, maybe she made it out scot-free, and she's just gonna be okay. And then we cut back to her, and I'm like, oh, there's oh, crap. And KONAN, like, let's just talk about her character design for a moment. She's awesome, right? I think one of the reasons I like her so damn much is because she kind of reminds me of a Logia user from One Piece, because she's like, like the paper fruit. She can turn her whole body into paper, and just a cool aesthetic, like unraveling herself, or making paper wings, or like trapping people with paper. I mean, let's be straight up here. We've all had a moment in our lives where we've gotten paper cut, like, really, really bad. Let me know a really serious paper cut story in the description below, in the comment section below, okay? I'll tell you what's even worse. Working at a Dollar Tree for 7 years, well, there's that alone. Just working at a Dollar Tree for 7 years alone, but also, cardboard cuts. Anybody ever worked in retail, got a cardboard cut? Oh, especially, I got one under my fingernail once. That was horrifying, right? Because I'm working one day, and there's a piece of cardboard that was thin enough to fit under my nail, and shing, and the second I did it, I'm like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Like, I grab it, and I'm like, I know what's gonna happen the second I take my hand away from oh god! It's like bubbling up like a geyser. I'm like, crap, paper towels! Okay, so, that's dangerous enough in its own. She's got blue hair. Blue is a cool color, right? You can't tell in my room, but yeah, blue's a cool color, right? Like the orange eyes and everything. Also, I just want to throw this out there. I loved the flashback with Jiraiya training those three in the village hidden in the rain. I love that, like growing up on the battlefield, living in that little shack, and just teaching them basic ninjutsu. It was kind of a throwback to the original part of Naruto, and I think this is where we get to why another reason why I like KONAN, and it's very prevalent in her final fight with Tobi, or Obito, okay? It's, she goes up against Obito with nothing more than just her wits and her chakra and explosive tags, paper bombs. That's all she uses. Yeah, she uses her other techniques to, like, fly and everything, but from what we really saw with her paper jutsu, her shikigami jutsu, she could throw, like, paper shurikens, paper kunai knives, and senbon. She could do anything out of paper, make things out of paper, wings out of paper, trap people with paper, like sealing jutsus, kind of. But that stuff's really not going to work that well against Obito, because he got the Mangyako Sharingan, and he could do all this crazy crap, right? Okay. So, like, what's Konan gonna do? Because I think most people figured at that point, when, at that point we didn't know it was Obito, when Madara shows up to the village hidden in the rain to collect Nagato's Rinnegan, it's like, okay, Konan's dead. She's just dead. There's nothing she can do, right? And she's there by herself. She's got no backup whatsoever. She's got, like, the other, like, shinobi that live in the village hidden in the rain, but beyond that, I mean, she's got nobody else is helping her out. And so it's very clear she's going up against Madara alone at this point. We thought, Madara does one thing and she's dead. But, Kishimoto, you twisted that around, did you not? Is like, no, she's smart. She's a smart cookie. She's like, I've been waiting for your dumbass. I knew freaking Nagato has Rinnegan. No duh, you're just gonna let him just sit in the freaking mausoleum, just a dead body with the Rinnegan? You're just gonna let that be for the rest of... By the way, here's a question. Do the eye jutsus, do the Dao jutsus, do they ever decay? Because, like, Nagato was dead for, like, several weeks at that point, and his body was all, like, shriveled and desiccated. He was a corpse. He was dead. But the eyeballs... I don't think the eyeballs last too long when you're dead. I think those are the first ones that kind of, like, shrivel up and, go away. So I guess the Rinnegan, the Sharingan, the Byakugan, they're special. They never decay, regardless, okay? I guess. Anyway, so Konan was aware, though. She's like, I knew you were gonna come looking for these damn things, right? Speaking of, Konan and Nagato, they were like one of the very few people in the Akatsuki, Zetsu as well. They were the very few people in the Akatsuki that were aware of, like, Madara's existence. Like, Tobi was Madara, who was actually Obito, so she knew he was coming. So, it's like, all right, she's like Batman, She's like, okay, how much prep time does Konan get? All right, after Nagato dies, how long do we got? Like, a couple weeks until he comes calling, or, from there until the war starts, okay? Maybe a few months, I'm not really sure on the whole time frame here. But she's like, I know you're going to be coming for the Rinnegans, so I'm going to set this plan up in motion, okay? So he comes calling, and she brings to the table, okay, what do we got? We got the Mangyako Sharingan, we got the Kamui, we got all that crap coming from Obito. What do we got on Konan's side? Well, she can fly, and she's got explosive tags. How many? Just 600 billion of the damn things! 600 billion! Yeah! I remember reading that chapter when it first came out and thinking to myself, man, that has to be a mistranslation. That can't be right. But no, in every official version, 600 billion is the official number. Here's what she did. She transformed, because it's the village hidden in the rain. There's like a giant, like, lake or, like, sea surrounding it. She transformed, like, an entire chunk of that sea surrounding the village into nothing but paper bombs and disguise them to look like water, so much so that Obito, who, keep in mind, has a damn Sharingan, couldn't tell, oh, that's not real water down there, that's freaking just a sea of paper bombs, okay? Konan, being a smart cookie, she's been observing Obito this whole time, and it's like, okay, you have two kind of main things that you do with that, like, that Mangyako ability. Number one, you can allow things to pass through you, and number two, you can kind of suck things in. You can kind of transport them into your own little dimension. However, I've been watching you for a while, and I know that when you do that sucking everybody in, including yourself, it takes a while. It's not instantaneous. It's not an instantaneous, like, teleportation ability. You gotta take time to suck things in, right? And that, whenever you switch over to the, shifting things through you, that's pretty much instantaneous. However, that also has a time limit. All right, nothing is invincible. You have a lot of chakra, sure, but there's a limit to everything. You're gonna bottom out at some point, right? So she hyposits, like, I think it's like you can only continuously keep yourself transparent and ethereal for like 5 minutes or something like that, like a handful of minutes. And she, even with that, she was probably overestimating or something. She's just like, I'm pretty sure you can, make yourself intangible for like 5 minutes or or so. So I'm just gonna set these explosions to go on for like 10 minutes or longer. I think it was 10 minutes was like the constant explosion of these 600 billion. So all Conan had to do was just lure him toward her, which wasn't going to be difficult because she was the only person that knew where the Rinnegan was. So she knows, like, if I just hang out here in the middle of this ocean or sea or whatever, the lake, whatever it was, whatever type of body of water it was, he's going to come find me. And then all I got to do at that point is just make sure he falls into the ocean and just activate, like, the paper god technique or whatever. And then I win. I win, because all these are going to detonate at the same time, continuous explosions for 10 minutes, surrounded by every single direction. All he could conceivably do in that scenario is make himself intangible, let the papers and explosions pass through him, but after a point he bottoms out, he's done, he's dead, and then I win, and then I can go to their freaking, I can go and pray at freaking Nagato and Yahiko's tombs, and I can be like, he's finally dead, we did it, we'll be safe now, right? So, that's the reason why I love that so damn much is because I loved Part 1 Naruto when it was more about the aspect of, like, being tactical and clever with your ninja abilities and your techniques. It wasn't all about chakra. It wasn't all about having, like, we have a nine-tailed, fox inside of me and I can shoot Bijudamas and obliterate mountains, okay? That was cool. I'm not gonna say it isn't cool. Like, freaking Sasuke and Kakashi bringing out the giant Susanos with the swords and the helmets and everything. Like, that's cool. I'm not debating that that's not cool. It's just, I kind of like the idea. Like, remember Shikamaru's fight with, who was it? Not, Tayuya. That was it, Tayuya. One of the Sound 4 back in Part 1, where, he's fighting against Tayuya, and he's trying to be tactical here. He's Shikamaru, and he's like, all right, what do I have on me right now? I have, like, 4 explosive tags, I got a flash bomb, I got 5 kunai knives, I got 12 shuriken. How am I going to I got, like, I got, like, 200 yards of, wire. Like, what am I going to do with the stuff that I have in order to defeat her? I miss that stuff about Naruto, because that kind of, like, falls by the wayside at a certain point when you just have, like, gods of chakra. Like, literally at the end of the story, Naruto and Sasuke are demigods. Like, quite literally, that's what happens. So, I miss that, right? And the explosive tags were always, like, a really cool thing to me, where, a ninja can take a piece of paper and then just inscribe a seal on it, and then, like, I guess, I don't really know how you make them. I guess you cause an explosion, or you take a piece of dynamite or an explosive, put it on the piece of paper, and then, like, activate a seal, and then it seals the explosive properties into it. The kanji here is just like detonate, alright? Kind of like how that one time when Jiraiya, when Itachi uses the Amaterasu to escape the Toadmouth trap, and Jiraiya is like, no, Naruto, don't go near it, and he uses the seal to, like, seal the fire. Something like that, maybe. I guess that's how you make these things, but these are common. Like any ninja, that's like, this is like one thing you learn in, like, the Ninja Academy is how to make an explosive tag, which is kind of messed up when you think about it, but this is the world of ninja we're talking about here, okay? So, just by a certain point in the story, these become redundant. You're not gonna, like, Madara Uchiha, the actual Madara Uchiha, is not gonna be defeated by a damn paper tag, right? Freaking Kaguya is not gonna be defeated. Alright, Kaguya, we got paper tags, like, that's not gonna work, alright? So, they get brought back. The last time they really play any sort of relevance in the story is Conan fighting against freaking, Obito, right? And she's like, you get to a point where you realize, yeah, one of these is not going to do anything. 10 of these is not going to do anything. 100, 1,000, probably even 10,000 of these things. But you figure you're going to get to a number that matters. What number is that? 600 billion or so. I was trying to figure out how she could have made so damn many of these, because you're talking about, I love absurd numbers in anime. I just love it. I love whenever a character comes out like, I have 1 trillion, swords that I'm gonna throw at you at once. I'm like, that's a ridiculous number, but I love it. Toriko is really good at that. And also that, when, in Bleach, when Yamamoto uses his Bankai, and Zanko no Tachi South, and, like, all of those, like, skeletal, charred zombies crawl out of the ground, and, like, the name of the technique is, like, trillions upon trillions of, like, dead bodies climbing their way out of hell and, like, dragging you down. I love absurd numbers, and Conan brought, she brought it to the table. Only female member of the Akatsuki. She's blue hair, pretty damn hot. This is what she looked like underneath the Akatsuki robe. We never got to see the sexy outfit with the side boob, unfortunately. And she brings to the table 600 billion paper bombs. So I'm thinking, like, how long would this take her to actually make? And I picture Conan, because it's freaking the Rain Village. What is there to do on a Friday night in the Rain Village? Nothing. So I imagine, like, her and Nagato are just chilling out. Nagato's back there on life support, like, beep, Conan's just sitting there, just seal, 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 just making just stacks of freaking paper bombs, you know? And I calculated it out. Let's say she was able to make a single paper bomb every single second, like literally like an assembly line, like one paper bomb a second. That would still take her, to get to 600 billion, that would take her 19,030 years. So then I started thinking, like, all right, what if she made more than just a second? Maybe she can make, like, she draws out a bunch, and then at a single time, she makes a bunch of them in a single time. So I said, what if she could make 10,000 every second? And I think that's out to like over a year. It's like 2 years almost, even with that. So I don't know how many of these, how exactly she made all of these, but the point is she made 600 billion, right? And my God, that scene where Madara comes to the fight, Obito goes out to the fight, and he's just like, oh, this is gonna be easy. I can take her out, no problem, be back by dinner. And then, you know, she activates her ability, he falls down into this huge freaking chasm of just nothing but paper bombs. And there's also a soundtrack that cues up in the background that I don't think is I think it's like an unreleased one. I don't think it's one that like any soundtrack. It's like an unreleased soundtrack. It's like, I just call it Conan's theme that cues up, and just like, you know, I have amassed 600 billion paper bombs in order to kill you, and they will explode continuously for over 10 minutes. I'll see you in hell. Bye. And then he's like, oh shit. And he tries to escape by warping, and he can't. And he's like, okay. I think he even loses an arm at one point, right? But of course, the one thing that happens, like how Obito manages to survive, is because of the ultimate Uchiha Sharingan bullshit ability. Oh, well, looks like I'm about to die. Well, time for some good old-fashioned Izanagi that make it all a dream. I hate that damn technique. Even if you're a fan of Naruto, you gotta admit, that Izanagi bullshit. I mean, come on. That's kind of ridiculous, right? And I know it comes with the cost of, you know, using up one of your eyes. And I know there's also the Izanami technique later that was like a countermeasure for that. But even so, a technique that basically like, yeah, it's my invincibility cheat for like a couple of seconds or minutes or whatever. Like, that's kind of bullcrap, but alright, fine, whatever. At least, I guess you could take it the other way, and you could say, well, Conan was so badass, she forced Obito to use the Izanagi. Although it wasn't his actual eye, he used one of his replacement eyes, so he didn't even use his original eye. It was like the replacement he had, you know, just because he stockpiles eyes. He uses one of the eyes up for Izanagi, because that kind of turns into not even a big risk, because it's like, all right, just stockpile a bunch of eyes in reserve. I use one up for Izanagi and just pop another one in. That's what freaking Danzo did. Danzo had a whole freaking armful of those things, right? So at some point it becomes not even a big deal when you could just stockpile the damn things, right? But yeah, anyway, so Conan unfortunately dies, but she does have her final moment. She kind of exhausts all of her chakra to use the detonation. But I'll also imagine how much damn chakra she would have had to detonate all of those at the same time. Like, that would probably be an insurmountable task. She's probably gathered up a lot of chakra for a long time, right? But she realizes that Naruto is the child of prophecy, and he'll carry on Nagato and Yahiko's will and all that. And so her final scene is, like, you see the rainbow in the background and making the paper, like, he will be the bridge to peace! And then Madara uses his... I know, I keep switching back. It's whatever. He uses Genjutsu on Conan to get her to, like, tell him where Yahiko and Nagato's tombs are. He goes, plucks out the Rinnegan, and then, you know what happens after that, right? But yeah, that was that. That was the end of Conan's little journey. And we had, like, a little epilogue to that where the piece of paper, like that blood-soaked one of her papers, floats over to that shack where they grew up with Jiraiya, and they all train together, and the little frog emblem gets covered up, and it's like, oh, they're all home now. They're all together. That was nice. Also, another scene that always piques me with Naruto, especially with Conan and the Akatsuki and everything, is the one scene when, in their younger years, you see Yahiko injured, and Conan was, like, patching him up, and their faces are, like, really close to each other, and they're, like, blushing, and they're like, oh my god, they're they're so cute together. You know, Yahiko and Conan. They never really got they kind of got a chance to be together, but then bad stuff happened, right? So, yeah, I really like their story, right? That would have been really cool to maybe have like a whole like side story focused on that, like more so than it really was, like their adventures they got up to. Like that would have been cool, right? See like Jiraiya as the main character of Naruto, or like the sequel, or like one of the sequel series to Naruto. Like here's a little thing where we focus on him training up Yahiko, Conan, and Nagato, right? That would have been neat. But yeah, okay. Well, anyway, that was my random Naruto video. I don't know if I'm gonna make another one, but that was it. I'm surprised I was able to do this for as long as I was. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. This will be Tekking101 signing out. Let me know below how much you thought Conan was awesome. Later. Ah, crap.